very soon. All right, let's send it back in New York to Charles, who has more on the financial crisis and the impact on Hollywood. Charles?
Thank you very much, Alexis. Well, when the stimulus package is passed by Congress, Hollywood won't be seeing any money after a $246 million tax break was stripped from the plan last week. Republican Senator Tom Coburn of Oklahoma says record January box office totals over $1 billion means Hollywood doesn't need any help. Despite the decision, EUE Screengems Studios is hoping that new investments will bring big business this year. Chris Cooney is the COO and co-principal of EUE Screengems, and he joins me now. Chris, what was your reaction when this big tax break was stripped out of the bill?
Not surprised. There were no tears shed for Hollywood on this one. I think there's cynicism about Hollywood in Washington right now, that it needs a handout. John McCain said it, you know, Hollywood's okay. But is it really?
Well, listen, the record box office in January, there are a lot of industries who can't boast that, but Tom Coburn, his exact quote was, "This isn't stimulus, this is a gift, and there's a tremendous odor to it." Now, I know that there's some cynicism, and also, let's face it, over the last 4 years, Hollywood hasn't been friendly to Republicans. They weren't friendly to George Bush. I saw a movie where a senator was assassinated at the end of the movie. That was a climactic scene. So is this get back time right now?
It might be. But it was a 52-48 vote, I believe. So it was close. But they chose not to give Hollywood what it wanted. And I think there's a perception about Hollywood that it's profligate and pampered. So I think it's
is that a misrepresentation, though?
Well, I think if you look at the share prices of the studios that are owned by conglomerates, I think there is truth to the fact that Hollywood is hurting.
Well, okay, to that point, though, if you pay someone $20 million and the movie stinks, then that's just bad management. That doesn't mean your industry is in bad shape. It just means you're overpaying everyone who works there.
Right, but they're going to pull down those salaries, and it's happening as we speak.
Okay, let's talk about you guys, because you seem to be doing a lot of things right. Talk to us about some of the investments that EUE Screengems has taken on.
We're building one of the largest stages in the world right now in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a 37,000 square foot dream stage, we call it. It has a tank for visual effects. When a car in a movie is put into the water, or there's swimmers and there's underwater photography, we'll have that on the East Coast. It's something that doesn't exist on the East Coast. It's in Hollywood, but we have it now in North Carolina.
Now, in Wilmington, and you guys have One Tree Hill.
That's right.
You had Dawson's Creek. You've had over 300 films, commercials, movies. You guys are rocking. Are you a legitimate threat to Hollywood right now, or you think you're heading that way?
I think we're an adjunct to Hollywood. We're not a threat to Hollywood. We enhance what Hollywood needs. It's very expensive to shoot in California, so we're an alternative. Rather than going to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, we're in a global shootout. We feel film should be shot in the U.S. If you can make it here, make the effort to do it here.
And on that note, it looks like New York is going to start to lose a lot of the films that were made here. I don't know what's going on, but I just read something recently. What kind of impact has your studio had on the Wilmington and North Carolina economy?
Well, New York has oversubscribed its incentive. So there's a lot of films and shows that want to come to New York, but they don't have the money to pay it out right now. So I think you'll see Wilmington prosper from that. I think you'll see Georgia, South Carolina, and Massachusetts.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Now, that's a great point in outsourcing. It affects all industries, including Hollywood. Congratulations, Chris. That's really
Thank
great.
you, Charles.
Coming up, elections are going to have a lot more from Washington, D.C. We're going to get the mood inside the Beltway. Stay with us.